Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 first look video. Before we get started, I have to say that I am not affiliated with Just Trains, Dovetail Games, or any other Train Sim World developer. I'd especially not want to be affiliated with Dovetail Games as they are running this game into the ground. Anyway, today we are here with a new add-on by Just Trains, something I've been very much looking forward to, and it is the first modern era Just Trains add-on for this game. So it is for the Cardiff City Network route. So if we go have a look at the timetable, you'll see there is a brand new 2019 timetable. The original timetable, 509 surfaces with the layers that I've got. The new one has 649, which is pretty impressive. So if we have a look at the old timetable, we had the Class 152, Class 153, one service for the HST, and a few services for the Railhead Treatment Train. Now, if we go to the new timetable, you'll see that there are a bunch of new services, service types. So first off, the star of the pack is of course the Class 142 Pacer, which is an adapted version of the one from Blackpool branches that Just Trains also did, and it is an adapted version of an abandoned Dovetail Games project, apparently, according to the developers. So yeah, we get it in two different liveries. We get it in an ex-Arriva Trains Wales livery with no branding, and then we get it in a Transport for Wales ex-Arriva Trains Wales livery with branding. So I believe the service count is pretty much the same, if I'm not mistaken. So if we go have a look, you get a lot of services, most of which are guardable. Most of them around 15 to 25 minutes. A few last for about 40 minutes. I don't believe there are any that go over an hour. Then if we go to the Class 150 that is included with the route, that you can see that it is now in a rather nice looking ex-Arriva Trains Wales livery, with no branding. This gets a bit less services, but it does have a significant amount. Again, service time varies between 25 minutes, 15 minutes, 40 minutes. Then we also get the Class 153 in two separate ex-Arriva liveries, one just labeled simply as 1 and 2 in the game. This gets, I think, the same services as the 150, I think. How do you even pronounce this? Ystradminach. I sincerely apologize for my Welsh pronunciation. Then you might be wondering, like, what on earth is the Class 37 for Tees Valley doing here? Well, the rail freight Class 37 for Tees Valley does a few passenger services, and these are with the Mark II Fs from Just Trains' Class 86/2 add-on, a couple of which are guardable. And the reason this is in the timetable is because, and in the time period this route is set, Transport for Wales still had a couple of Class 37s with Mark II F rakes running around, and the Class 37 hasn't received that livery, nor have the Mark II Fs, but it's nice to see it and have those drivable, even if they don't have the correct liveries. Then we have also the Class 60, the inevitable Class 66, which does pure RHTT services, most of these at night time. So there's 3059 it's only two services. It's three services if you look at it, because it's it's two services. Wait a minute, I'm confusing myself. No, it's technically three different services. So 3059 parts 1 through 4, 3059 again parts 1 and 2, and then 3061. So yeah, other layers are pop in as AI, the GWR Class 802 IET and GWR Class 150 from the Riviera line, the cross country Class 220 Voyager appears once a day. The GWR HST and Class 166 from the soon-to-be remastered Great Western Express also substitute in. The cross-country Class 170 comes in from the West Midlands and cross-country Class 170 add-on from Birmingham Cross City, which is a pretty integral part of the rail scene. I'm glad it's finally here. It's not drivable, though, of course. Class 66 freight services from West Coast Main Line South and Cargo Lines Volumes 1 and 3. I actually just yesterday picked up Cargo Lines 1 and 2, so I now have the complete Cargo Line collection, so those should show up. And, of course, the Railhead treatment trains, some of which are drivable, as you just saw. Just Trains have also given this is compatible with the 8th generation consoles. However, there are no additional services playable or AI from layered content from other add-ons, so the only stuff you'll see is the Class 142, the Class 150, and the Class 153. It is out now, and there's also a manual if you want to peruse that. So, yeah, let's go to the Class 142. I think I'll choose the Transport for Wales one, and I want to do Radyr to Court, Radyr. See if there are any services around the middle of the day. Radyr to Corton at 12:02, to Charlie, 2-3. Let's set the date like 1st of June. Leave it unclear so I can do historical weather with the live weather mod, and let's get started. Alright viewers, so here we are at Radyr with the brand new Transport for Wales Pacer, and you might think, oh, Just Trains just lazily reskinned this from the Blackpool Branches version, but no, the changes are more than just what meets the eye. So yeah, obviously the livery is different. With the Transport for Wales livery of Trafdidaeth Simru, my apologies for my Welsh pronunciation. Obviously it's multilingual, bilingual I mean. Hang on, I'll increase the field of view real quick so you can actually see and I don't have to maneuver the camera too much. So yeah, as you can see, new bifold doors instead of the fourfold doors that we had before with the Blackpool Branches version. We also have this button here for the door open, appropriate decals, like new ports and stuff. Looks pretty good. We still have a non-digital display. We also have a GSMR antenna, whatever this thing is, which I can't remember. I know it wasn't there before. We also have, it's pretty substantial changes. We also have stuff like LED lights now. What else? Let's go to the interior. I want to show you the interior. So, cab, as you can see, has been had a few bits added to it. So we now have a DRA, TPWS, of course, partially operational. We also have a GSMR, TPWS isolation switch. Anything else? I don't believe so. Yeah, it's pretty similar to when it was. Also, Transport for Wales maquettes on the seats. Yeah, and let's go to the interior. Oh, come on. Thank you. Drone camera being a tad annoying. Interior is completely different colors, of course. We've got advertisements, era appropriate decals on the doors, of course, in both Welsh and English. Then we also have completely different seats as well, because obviously they didn't keep the original seats because they didn't meet modern regulations. We also have some foldable seats there. We also have luggage racks, and you might notice that these windows are open, while some aren't. Yes, the windows are now operational. I'll show you that in a bit. Luggage racks are also modeled now. We also have some buttons as well. There's doors, and then we also have a toilet, which isn't modeled, sadly. But yeah, I never knew a toilet which was... Yeah, the only toilet which I know of that's going to be in TSW is going to be in the GWR HST once that gets the remaster on Great Western Express. We also have some more seats. Excuse me. Yeah, and then we have we're at the other side. So yeah, I believe that's all the changes I can show you in photo mode. So yeah, let's get started. Why is it showing up with that? Okay, hang on. So, bam. Open the doors. We also have, I forgot to mention this, new night and day stuff on the headlights. Turn on destination light. Oh! Live weather kicking in there. Hadn't kicked in before. DRA is set because we're at a red light. GSMR is... yeah. The TPWS seems to have kicked off for some reason. Hang on a second. Why is the TPWS causing issues? Hang on. Let's get the AWS on. And it's still not... TPWS is still... yeah, TPWS temporary isolation fault. What? It's weird. We also have a new sander. I forgot to mention. And we should also get the destination lights destination blind changed. To Corriton. Cardiff Bay. I actually didn't know there were keybinds to do this from the outside. Ugh. Thank you. Let's go to the other side, and... oh, really? Let's get the destination blind set up. Barry Town, Barry Island, Bridgend, Caerphilly, Cardiff Bay, Cardiff Central, Cardiff Queen Street, Corriton. There we go. Why are you not working? Shutting doors, new door sound, of course. Oh, it's the DRA. That's why. That was why the That was why the TPWS was kicking off. It was because of the. Oops. It was because of the DRA being on. My apologies, viewers. I thought there was a bug with this service. It wasn't. It was because the DRA was on. You may notice that those sounds are pretty familiar. That is because they are. It's from the Cummins engined 1993 plus version of the Pacer. That was from Blackpool branches. So as far as I can tell, none of that's been changed. Should probably turn the saloon lights on. There we go. Open the window, why not? Doors, of course, horn, I mean, remains unchanged. Also, the, yeah, it's basically, yeah, it's so, in the cabin, like, to all intents and purposes, it's just the Blackpool branches Pacer with a bit of a facelift. But I honestly don't mind that. So yeah, we are actually going from here all the way down here via Cardiff Central, then all the way back up here. It's actually quicker to walk this than to drive this in a train. It's actually a bit since I've been in the Pacer in-game. So I'm glad to finally be back in a version which actually has some different bits about it to the British Railways version. Yeah. Slow down, buddy.
The next station stop is Danes Court.
Yeah, there are announcements, however they are only in English. In real life, you'd have picked up that telephone and spoken with the and spoken into it to do the announcement, so I presume that's why it's only in English rather than Welsh and English. Also, yeah, like, this is, yeah. Yeah, this is, yeah, the Cardiff route itself remains unchanged. It's still in its, whatever it was, whatever condition it was in. Yeah. And then, yeah, so if you want to do it on controller, you press that, and then you just hover over the telephone and press the interact key, and then it's G on the keyboard, just like in the Blackpool Branches Pacer. Then also, yeah. What else? Yeah, there are no train faults with this add-on, despite them being a core feature. I'm not entirely sure why that is. I think it was because Just Trains didn't want to implement them or something. I think they said that they may start do them at a later date. I'm not too sure. Next stop, Fairwater in 700 yards. So our stops are Fairwater, Walgrun Park, Ninian Park, Cardiff Central, Cardiff, Queen Street, Heathrow Level, T Glass, Birchgrove, Whitbinner, Whitchurch, and Corriton. This is like the longest run you can do in the Pacer in game. It doesn't layer anywhere, I'm pretty sure. It's just for this route. Yeah. And this was 2019 was basically the last hurrah of the Pacer on the British Railway network, because after 2019 we got into 2020 and then COVID hit, so hardly any trains were running. Then yeah, the Pacers were basically all but retired by the end of 2020 and 2021. My goodness, I'm driving pretty badly today. Throwing this Pacer around. Yeah, so if we want to have a look, like, fold down seat, still the same. Interior, guards panel, of course. It's, yeah, and then seats, as per usual. Also window animation, look at that. And like all the windows are operational, and if you're running an AI service, like they genuinely, like they open in the summer and are closed in winter sort of thing, which is just so cool. As far as I know, that's a brand new feature to the game, which is pretty cool. And let's get ready to be off. Pretty rapid stopping pattern, kept quite busy. Next up, Walgrun Park in 800 yards. Speed. Yeah. So we also have a DSD that's controlled via the AWS system. So, yeah, make sure TPWS is unisolated.
The next stop is Walgrun Park.
It's Walgrun Park, according to the announcer. So, yeah, according to JT, the guy who did the announcement is a native Welshman, so I'll just take his announcement for granted and try to copy them for me, because Welsh pronunciations are notoriously difficult for an English person to handle. Oh boy, we're coming in hot, Sound the horn. Stop. Okay, we're gonna stop in time. We came in hot, but we're good. We're using Winzoted's live weather mod, but since we're doing this in summer, I'm using historical weather for the in-game year. So I assume the in-game year is set to 2019? I assume it is anyway, so yeah, this is what the weather would have looked like on the 1st of June 2019, I hope. Yeah, and other than that, the only other mod I'm using is London Midland Signal Visibility mod. Everything else, the game is completely stock. Like, look at this beauty. I love the Pacer, and I've been wanting a modern Pacer in the game for a good bit now. And this is like this train is basically the whole reason I got Cardiff City Network in the first place. Because I was wanting that modern Pacer, so... We've got a green signal ahead. Buzzing back, full speed. Right, maximum throttle. Yeah. There are a few bugs, as is to be expected these days from a TSW product that releases, but honestly, I believe the biggest one is the what is it? The class 1, the Arriva 150 and 153 are not spawnable in free roam or in the PC editor outside of Cardiff City Network, which is obviously a big issue. But yeah, I believe that issue was caused by Dovetail Games. It wasn't anything to do with Just Trains, and I believe there is a fix en route. Ooh, hello. Pacer in the ex-Arriva livery. Nice. Oh, we're approaching line speed. Pacer actually getting up to line speed. That's a rarity. This thing has a top speed of what, 75 miles an hour? So yeah, by the time this add-on takes place, this thing is absolutely just the Pacer is just ancient by this point. It would have been this one would have been in service for near enough 35 years by the time this route is set. So by the time this timetable is set, I mean. So it was a stopgap measure in the first place that just got used for much longer than it was intended, and frankly I'm surprised as many as 35 survived into preservation. Yeah, it's a tight timetable. We're running late despite... Yeah, we're not... Notch 2 on the brakes. How's performance doing? 40-ish FPS. For this route, that's not too bad. There's a lot of assets to load. Notch 2. Come on, buddy. Okay, 30 seconds late. Hopefully that doesn't affect us too much. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do the announcement. So yeah, next after this is Cardiff Central. And we should see a lot of stock at Canton Depot. There's a lot of stuff there that, yeah, including these two rakes here, which I am particularly interested in showing you. Speed. Next stop, Cardiff Central in 1 mile. Yeah. Cardiff City Network is a pretty limited route, but it does take a decent while to complete if you know what services to do. Alright. Actually, gotta start slowing down. Step 1 on the brakes. Yeah, if we're going left, so do need to slow down rather quickly. So yeah, you can see the new livery on the 150, some Pacers, some 37s with Mark IIFs, and are there any 153s? Oh, that was one of the bugs I forgot to mention. The Class 153, I do not believe shows up in free roam as AI on this route for some strange reason. So yeah, we'll only see 150s as other Transport for Wales stock if we don't see a Class 37 with Mark IIFs. which is a major shame because I do like the Class 153. I don't know why the 153 isn't showing up. I'm no developer, but I really hope they could get it fixed. Performance is doing decently coming in to Cardiff Central. Do have a 15 limit coming up. I believe those signs there is where the 15 limit kicks in, so gotta be careful. Yeah, here it is. There's another pacer. Oh, bit of a stutter there. And it is in the Transport for Wales livery rather than the ex-Riva livery. It's a bit confusing, like what liveries are. It's a bit confusing about the liveries, but hey. We won't see any GWR Class 802s, 150s, or 220s today because, well, I haven't got the Riviera line or the Class 220 and I have no intention of getting them because of Dovetail's simply just bananas business practice of pumping out mediocre DLC while trying to keep their profit margins as high as possible. Single yellow, here we go, Cardiff Central. Yeah. If you disagree with me, feel fine to tell me down in the comments, but please be civil about it, because, yeah, if you're not civil about it, I'll ban you. Simple as that. Yeah. I believe I tolerate disagreement, but only if we can have a civil discussion about it and not swear at each other. But yeah. Or be, yeah. Come on, buddy. Yeah. I've made a, right, DRA on, so yeah. Ooh, we're here for the next 2 minutes. Hang on. I forgot to put the reverser at neutral up till now. So yeah. Every single person appears to disembark apart from these people. Yeah, no first class section, of course, because, well, why would a pacer have a first class section? That's a literal contradiction. Yeah. This is a decent route. Like, Cardiff City Network is a decent route, and now finally having a pacer on it in an era-appropriate livery with era-appropriate details is a dream come true for me. I do really like the pacer. Yeah. Not too much GWR traffic and evidence thanks to the lack of Riviera and the Class 220 as stated previously. I believe the remastered GWR HST 166 and 165, yes, you heard me right, will also substitute into this timetable when the remaster comes out, which will be nice. But yeah, we don't have the remaster yet, so yeah, let's see. Is there any other traffic here? Yeah, I'm apart from this chap heading to how do you pronounce that? EBBW Vale Town. I don't know. I'm no Welshman. I can't speak Welsh. I butcher Welsh pronunciations. Here's the 150. Recently got a new sound update to bring it up to modern standards. And yeah, it looks pretty nice in this ex-Arriva livery, I must say. Interior looks unchanged to me, so yeah. Yeah, oh well. Alright. Oh boy, we need to go. Speed, next up, Cardiff Queen Street.
The next station stop is Cardiff Queen Street.
Because the announcements are manually operated, I always forget to do them even on the Blackpool branches one. Next stop, Cardiff Queen Street. I believe the thing also... Yeah. I believe the Pacer does all the major services like to Penarth, Coggin, Cardiff Bay, Corriton, Radir. Off to the left there goes the Great Western Main Line heading to Bristol and eventually Paddington. There we go. Having to use notch 4 just to maintain speed? Are you serious? My goodness. A lot of noise for not much speed. Yeah. Here comes the Cardiff Bay branch off to the right. There's another Pacer. Hello, mate. Actually, this is perfect timing. Hang on. Watch this. Bam. That actually looks pretty decent. Let's get field of view. Come on, 25%. Thank you kindly. Oh, he's heading to Barry Island. 142002 as well. Wonder if that's been preserved. Oh, I should actually move the camera a bit. Come on. Very hard to do this on a mouse. Without... Yeah, come on. There we go. Oh boy. Come on. Yeah. I actually play quite a bit of Cardiff off camera because services, even full ones like in the old timetable like Corriton to Penarth, don't take too long to complete. And it's not often you can see full services being able to be completed within like the space of half an hour or so. There's another pair of Pacers. My goodness, they're thick on the ground. Coming in hot, as usual. I wish the 153 would show up. But, yeah, I think it's something out of JT's control. Maybe, I don't know. I hope it's something they can fix pretty quickly, because it's a pretty big issue that you can't see one of the trains that's supposed to be an integral part of the route. I also forgot to put the DRA on. There we go. Yeah, we're here for the next minute or so, so let's have a bit of a look around using drone camera. There's this guy here heading to Penarth. Noise. Yeah. And this chap's heading to Cardiff Bay. Right now, actually. Yeah, he's just leaving. Let's watch him leave. There he goes. Yeah, so after this we go a bit along the line toward Heath High Level, then we turn off to Heath Low Level, and then we're on to the Corriton branch, where we will remain for the remainder of the trip. Right, gotta wait. Right, we gotta wait till that signal turns green. I love the signal visibility mod because it makes the signals just look a lot clearer than in the base game. Next stop, Heath Low Level in 2.5 miles. Speed. There goes the branch back toward Radir, the northern branch. It goes, yeah. Also, the Pacer was, funnily enough, the first train ever in TSW to feature dynamic suspension. Like, I'm not kidding, it was the first. ever to feature dynamic suspension. And yeah, the fact that JT one-upped Dovetail to have the first train in the game with dynamic suspension is pretty dang impressive. Also, the pacer in the game is actually 2 years old. Just over 2 years. It just turned 2. It was Blackpool Branches was released just over 2 years ago, which is absurd that I've been playing TSW for that long. We are into second gear. There he goes in with the pacer. Looks as though we do have an approach control signal heading into Heath low level, unfortunately. I haven't had the DSD go off of me yet either. Let's have a look at my performance. 50 FPS, that's not bad at all. It's a bit like a drag strip, the section from Queen Street up to Heath High Level. Like, because it's like pretty much completely straight and it has downhill bit, if you're coming from Heath High Level toward Queen Street, it feels like you're on a drag strip for trains. I believe there are... I think the route which does... I believe a better route that for, like, that feels more like a drag strip is probably Zwolle to Groningen in the Netherlands, because that has some pretty... Oh, hello. Has one really long straight section that goes for like 20 kilometers. It's actually absurd. Alright, looks as though we do have a 25 limit coming into effect as we go into Heath low level. And one annoying thing that does bug me with Cardiff is you can't walk between Heath high level and Heath low level. You have to use the menu to teleport between them, and since they're so close, it feels like you should be able to walk between them, but you can't for some weird reason. But that's Dovetail, not just trains. Alright. Here we go, on to the Corton branch. Yeah, we're now on a pretty steep downhill section. Heath low level.
The next stop is Heath low level.
There we go. I almost forgot to do the announcement that time. The stops from here will start getting a lot more frequent. Like, there are some stations that will be easily within walking distance of each other. Having a... yeah. For JT's first Modern Era add-on, this feels pretty decent. I wonder what else Modern Era they're going to do, because we know they're making... now that this is released, the only other Just Trains add-on that we know about is Preston to Crew, but that's set in 1986, like all their other route add-ons.
The next station stop is T-Glass.
T-Glass is how you pronounce it, okay. Right, 0.7 miles and to go. Also, we are now out of AWS coverage because it's a single branch line. There's no signals all the way to Corriton. So we have to be pretty careful. Well, the signaller would have to be pretty careful not to let two trains onto the branch at the same time, because there would be no way to tell the other driver to stop. Oh, the flange noise cut out for like a half a second there. I'm not exactly sure why. Shut off the power. Get notch 1 of brakes going. We will definitely not be able to get up to line speed in between these next few stops. Gated crossing, pedestrian crossing. Hello everyone, hopefully you're happy to ride a pacer. I certainly am. It's really funny how things turned out with the pacer, because most passengers who ride this thing absolutely hated it for the ride comfort, things like that, but rail fans absolutely adore it. And yeah, there's a ton in preservation because they're pretty cheap to run and easy to maintain, and they're often used as backups on heritage railways. So yeah, it's ironic how things turn out. Passengers unanimously hate it, and rail fans almost unanimously love it.
We will shortly be arriving at Birch Grove.
Birch Grove. Departed slightly early there, but who cares? Birch Grove in 350 yards. Alright, shut it off. Yeah, only 25 miles an hour. This feels more, the Corriton branch feels more like a bus, a bus route than a train route, because the stations are so close together. I've never, I think this is the most dense, station stopping pattern in the game, apart from maybe the Bakerloo line in the section from Queen's Park to Elephant and Castle. Actually, I don't know. It's definitely very close together. Yeah. It's nice to finally have an iteration of the Pacer with modern equipment, because, yeah, the only safety equipment the original one had was an AWS system, and because you're running out on Blackpool branches, which wasn't really equipped with AWS at the time, you don't really have stuff to run on it. You don't really have to worry about safeties. In this route, you definitely do.
The next station stop is Rubina.
Rubina. So it's R-H-I-W-B-I-N-A, pronounced
We will shortly be arriving at Rubina.
Rubina.
The next station stop is Rubina.
Sun breaking through the clouds. It's definitely interesting, that's for sure. I can't believe the Pacers lasted so long in service. They were just meant to be an interim solution by British Rail. They were only intended, I think, 10 years in service tops. But then privatization hit in 1994, and a lot of companies thought, oh, these are pretty easy units to maintain. We'll just keep them in service because they don't cost us too much. How much? Almost overshot, but thankfully nothing came of it. Yeah, we've got basically no one on board. And also, I can confirm, now that I'm looking at the seats, that the guard mode for the Pacer does actually work properly. It gives you the proper amount of tickets in between stations, which is nice. Not too many trains in this game have a properly working guard mode. It either gives you too many tickets or too few tickets. You really have to thrash the Pacer in between stations on this section of line. Next up, Whitchurch.
We will shortly be arriving at Whitchurch.
Which is our second to last stop of the day in 500 yards. Whitchurch. 30 seconds here and then we're off to Corton, which was our last stop of the day. The stopping pattern on this section of line is so rapid. Now, in the era this route is set, the Cardiff City Network route is set, this service is normally run by the Class 153. Yeah.
The next station stop is Corrigan, where this train terminates.
Ironically, out of the 3 main diesel multiple units in this timetable, both the Pacer and the Class 153 have both been retired in the present day. The Pacer was retired in late 2020, and then the 153 was retired in late 2025. I believe they've been replaced by more modern stuff like the 197 units like that, which is a major shame. I do like the 153 and I really do like the Pacer, but yeah, it's far too outdated by this time period. Here we go, Corton. On time too. Gotta be careful. This is quite close. Need to be careful as this is quite close to the end of the line. DRA on. I don't want to drive forward into that barrier. Let's have a look. So yeah, here we are. Here's Corrigan. 142073 doing the honest today. Wonder if that's been preserved. I would love to see if that's been preserved. Hang on, I'll actually do this via the guard panel because why the heck not? Close. Shut it. There we go. And there we go. Platinum medal, of course, because why not? We lost only 32.5 points for speeding. Got a ton of points for doing good stops. What was our closest stop? 0.951 yards. That's actually pretty impressive at Rubina. That's how you pronounce it. The W throws me off. Anyway, so yeah, that'll be all for this video, everybody. Let me know what you think of Just Trains' brand new Pacer down in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.